For example, in the same year, 2002, of the event where Noam Apter and 3 others were killed and I was injured, another 453 Israelis were killed and 2,284 civilians were injured. Israel's citizens went through a horrible time during this period. Every day was another terror attack. Just in March of that year, there were 24 different attacks in which 135 Israelis were killed and many others were wounded. Terror and fear were everywhere. In coffee places, buses, and different yeshivot where terrorists entered them and planted death and fear. The peak of terror during this month was Leila Seder in the hotel in Netanya, where 30 civilians were murdered. This month received the name the Black March. The government decided to launch a wide military operation called Chomat Magen, during which 3 friends from my army unit and my commander were killed. At the end of 2002, when I was on vacation, I spent a Shabbat as a guest at the Yeshivat Hesder in the southern Hebron Hills. In the middle of the Shabbat dinner, while we were singing Zmimot Shabbat, 2 terrorists infiltrated the yeshiva and killed the 4 duty persons that were in the kitchen. The moment I heard the shots, I grabbed my gun and shot toward the terrorist, and during the exchange of fire, the fire from my gun was jammed, and one of the terrorists shot me in my leg. 20 minutes later, the army came and fought the terrorists and killed them. I would like to share with you 2 personal points from this event. First, when the shooting started in the kitchen, the shock and the fear was so strong you could really feel it. When I picked up the weapon, the first thing I did for some reason was to fire towards the kitchen doors directly, even before it was clear that the terrorists were there. Until today, I cannot explain what caused me to fire at the doors of the kitchen without knowing that the terrorists were there. For sure, it was God's hand that directed it, and it caused the terrorists to fear and to understand that we stood ready on the other side of the door. And thus, undoubtedly, a larger disaster was prevented. Second, when I asked Mori Rabbi, Arav Yehuda Amital Zichrono Livracha, the head of the Yeshivat Hesder, where I learned how long Am Yisrael would need to continue to suffer the terror and the fear that we experienced in those years. Arav Amital answered me, someone who looks at the war today disconnected from the historical context of Jewish history has a problem. The contemporary events need to be considered in the light of the historical miracle when Am Yisrael, after the Holocaust, managed to establish a state which, within 50 years, achieved a strong economy and military strength that amazed all the nations of the world, a phenomenon which has no parallel in history. And all this during continual conflicts. It managed to bring the Jews from the Arab lands in the very last minute before the gates were locked. This is in itself a miracle. One who sees the events of today in light of this historical miracle, or rather the historical miracles, from one hand, he can see the things in the right perspective, and on the other hand, he sees that the hand of Hashem stands behind the historical Kiryat Yam Suf of our day, which is the establishment of Medinat Israel.